But let me thank all of you that are gathered here, especially the press. This event was supposed to take place yesterday, and I sincerely apologize. I went to Maiduguri, and we couldn't make it as scheduled for one reason or the other. So I apologize for those of you who were involved yesterday. What we are going to do here today is very simple. And I thank you for being witnessed to this our journey of taking back Nigeria. What we are doing here today, after months, weeks and months, we've gone around, consulted, searched around to look for, like the chairman had said, somebody who will fit the bill of what we're trying to do. And I'm about to tell you that we have been able to meet and secure somebody who is eminently qualified. Eminently qualified. Fit the bill to be the Vice President of Nigeria. I know people will say, you're not there yet. But I can tell you, I know where we're going. This is our march to secure, unite, and make Nigeria productive. And you can't do it without having people who have similar vision, similar idea, and are prepared for that onerous task. I have very distinctive honor to present to you somebody I can call a friend, a younger brother, because I'm senior, which is what I've said also. A younger brother, and God willing, the next Vice President of Nigeria. In the name of Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, who have been described as one of the brightest, youngest personalities in Nigeria that has distinguished himself in all areas. He brings to this mission a great wealth of experience from the background of a private sector to public sector, and a global knowledge that will help in our journey of turning around this country. Today, our country is facing so many challenges, which I would not want to mention here because we're just here to introduce our vice presidential candidate. But I will not be doing a great service to our country if I do not mention some of those. We're today the poverty capital of the world. We're today hugely indebted. And I've said in my interview a few days ago, we're actually about to default in our debt servicing, which will just trigger us into junk status. I pray it doesn't happen. But that is where we are. By the end of this year, we will need 100% of our revenue will not be enough to service our debts. That is where we've gotten ourselves into. Our people are hungry. They're angry. And all this is cumulative effect of bad leadership. And we've decided to halt this collapse, to stop this drift. We made this choice, and that we have sat down and discussed. And I said to him, what we are doing is not just two of us. We're bringing all Nigerians into this big tent where everybody will be involved, because we want to end the primitive politics of ethnicity, religion, and all sorts of things. Like I've said, show me where in the north where there's uninterrupted electricity. Show me where people are not hungry. Show me where there's no poverty in the north. Show me where people are prospering and industries. Unemployment is not in the north. Show it to me in the south. There's none. But politicians give excuse because it's from here. What we want now to replace all that with competence and merit. And that is why I said to my younger brother, this is not a journey where you think anybody is boss. We will soon select a team too, because not just two of us. Chairman said two of us. Chairman is not two of us. I've governed the state. We're going to have a team of people who will join us to be able, if we succeed, to be able to build a Nigerian that would desire to start bringing people to have faith in their country, to have hope, to be proud to call Nigeria their own. And that is what we want to do. And Datti is coming with the same background that two of us will be able to start this process. Now that we have completed this cycle of nominations, we will soon, in the next few days, more weeks, be able to come out with policies, a manifesto that will be anchored on the 17 SDG position. Because we must rescue this country. We must ensure that this country is secured, this country is united, and this country is productive. It's been done in every country of the world, emerging country of the world. So it is not rocket science. It just requires a background. It requires, so my dear people, in the coming months, in the coming days, you'll be hearing from me, you'll be hearing from the Vice President. There's something that Lord Datti has said. They said to me, in this country, is a place people say to me, no, maybe you're talking too much. I said, no. Everybody in the world who is running campaign is talking too much because people want to hear you. You know, people even say, I said, why do you have to write a manifesto? I have a written constitution. So listen to me and take note. Let those who are competing come and say who they are and take note. There's no need giving you a glossy paper which we don't know what is written on it. Hear from our mouth so we can tell you what we want to do. So in the coming months, telling you what we're going to do. And we want you to take note and hold us responsible. I go everywhere and said, we must save here. We're young, we're energetic, we're prepared to unleash the ingenuity, resourcefulness, and the energy of the young ones in this country. Because that's where our cabinet. We are committed to turning all those vast land in the north into the oil of the future. I was flying from Maiduguri yesterday into Abuja, and I turned round to somebody who was on my left, the Papa Nuncio in Nigeria, and I said, let me show you the problem of this country. Said, how? Said, just watch. From Maiduguri to Abuja, we saw vast empty land, all cultivated. I said, there's nowhere in the world you can fly like this. It will be farmland. That is our oil. And we must turn it into oil. Oil is a diminishing asset. We must unlock the new assets, which is the land. Our people will go back there to be productive. America, the richest state in America is California, not Texas. It has twice the GDP of Texas, 3.3 trillion. Texas is 1.8. It's not oil, it's agriculture. It's production. Kanu and Kaduna is processing center. We will unlock what the ports can do in Port Harcourt. It's a transshipment port that can generate enough income. We have people in Aba that can do the shoe and the clothing that Vietnam is doing and earning $something billion a year. It must stop. This country must produce. And that's what we're going to do. That's what Datti comes with his background. He can't have PhD in economics for nothing. It is to be utilized. And I'm coming from that background. He's been a successful businessman, a successful private sector. I want both of us to leave the confines of our success in private sector and do it in the public.